Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pod Play Entertainment. My name is Chris, and in case you don't know, I review movies and I rank them on a scale of 0 to 100 in increments of 5. Today, we're going to be doing another Halloween special with John Carpenter's original Halloween. Oh, yeah. I'm very excited to be talking about this movie. I already saw Halloween Kills. I saw it the other day. I'm going to rewatch the 2018 Halloween when I get the chance. I might review Halloween Kills before I review Halloween 2018. I'm not really sure, but I do plan on reviewing both of those films. Let's go ahead and jump into Halloween. So it was released in 1978 and stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasant, Tony Moran, and Charles Cyphers. It was directed by John Carpenter and is produced by Mustafa Akkad and Irwin Yablans. And this movie tells the story of a high school girl who begins to get stalked by a serial killer who killed his sister when he was a little kid and who has now escaped from a mental health facility and is on a killing rampage. This movie is a classic. When you think about classic horror movies, this is probably the first one that comes to your mind. This movie invented the slasher genre. Friday the 13th is a direct ripoff of this, by the way, in case you didn't know that. This movie really revolutionized horror. Like, for one thing, the cinematography in it is really, really good. The opening sequence in the film, when you see everything through child Michael Myers' eyes as he's going to kill his girlfriend, his sister. He kills his sister. That's really creepy, and it's really, really, it was revolutionary for the time. John Carpenter would set up these shots where you would see Michael Myers in the background, but he's blurred out, or in the foreground, but he's blurred out. This really invented that. That's something that you see a lot nowadays in horror movies, with something's in the background, but you can't really see it. This was like the first, I'm pretty sure this was the very first movie to do that. So props to John Carpenter, man. He really invented something that we hadn't quite seen before. The music in it is really good. Of course, everybody loves a Halloween theme song, and John Carpenter wrote it himself, even though he didn't really know how to do that, which props to him for that, because it is awesome. And it's not just the theme song, but it's all the music. He wrote all of it, and it's all really, really good. This movie also does false scares well. There's a couple of them in the movie, and you know how, like, false scares are just, like, one of the worst things in horror movies? Like, dream sequences. It's just so dumb when, like, someone turns around and it's just their boyfriend, hey, what's up? Or a cat jumps out of a box or something. Like, it's so dumb. There's a couple of false scares in this movie, but they're not so up in your face to where you don't mind them. Like, they're actually done well. Like, this is how you do false scares properly. Like, when the sheriff put his hand on Michael Myers' doctor's shoulder. It's not big or anything. It's just a quick little thing. That's how you do a full scare. Like, so props to John Carpenter for not making a bunch of annoying fake jump scares. This movie does a great job as well at setting up adult Michael Myers. The way that Donald Pleasance talks about him in this movie, you really get scared of this guy that you haven't really seen much of. Like, when he's riding with the nurse in the car, and he keeps referring to him as it, or when he's in the house with he's in Michael Myers' old house with the sheriff, and he's talking about how he's just a personification of evil. The way he constantly sets up Michael Myers, it's really good. I also love how at one point in the movie, Laurie Strode, who is played by Jamie Lee Curtis, she's babysitting this kid, and they're both watching The Thing from Outer Space, which is a really old horror movie. And then a few years later, John Carpenter rebooted that movie and made his best film out of The Thing, which, in my opinion, that is John Carpenter's best film. I just thought that was really cool. John Carpenter took a very simple premise, and he made a masterpiece out of it. All this movie is about is a psychopath who stalks and kills people. That's it. How can you make a movie this good out of a premise that simple? Like, he directed this movie so well, and he deserves all the praise in the world for it. This movie is just so much fun to get comfy on the couch and watch it every year around Halloween time. I want to do this with Halloween, what I want to do with Home Alone every year at Christmas time. I just want to get comfy and have a good time because it just feels like Halloween. Home Alone just feels like Christmas. And I really appreciate that about this movie. The first time I saw this movie, I didn't quite get it. I was bored and underwhelmed. But when I watched this movie a second time, it really hit me what this movie really is. And it may seem like that to some people, how it's just, for a while, it's really just Michael Myers popping up and staring at people. But I kind of love that now. And I really appreciate this film upon further watching. I'm almost embarrassed that I didn't quite like this movie the first time I saw it, because it really is just one of the best horror movies ever made. However, it's not perfect. This movie does have some flaws. Some of the acting is a bit iffy. Laurie doesn't really quite react to getting stalked by Michael Myers as strongly as you would think. Like, she sees him staring at her, and then she's just like, oh, that's weird. I'm gonna call my friends. You know what I mean? Like, anybody else would call the police. And then my last con with this movie is that it doesn't look like fall. As a matter of fact, I think I read somewhere where they threw leaves on the ground on purpose to try and make it look more like fall. Because they filmed this movie in the spring of 1978. And so when you see all the trees and the bushes and everything, well, bushes don't really change colors, but you see all the trees everywhere and they're all green. You can tell that this wasn't actually filmed in the fall, which for some people might kind of take you out of it if you even notice it. It's not that big of a deal. It's just that this movie doesn't really feel like fall to me because they didn't film it in the fall. Like, if in my opinion, it would have been nice if they had filmed this in the fall of 77 and then released it in the fall of 78. But I understand, you know, their scheduling issues probably didn't allow for that. So I get that. It's something I've noticed. But I really don't have a lot to complain about with this movie. This is one of the best horror movies ever made. You see so many horror movies that just take a lot from this film. Yeah, it's revolutionary. It really is. And such a simple premise. It's really revolutionary. I mean, this movie was made on such a small budget, too. For the time then and the time now, it was made on like a $300,000 budget, I think, which is nothing. It was nothing then. It's nothing now. Michael Myers' mask is literally just a mask of Captain Kirk that they spray painted white. Like, this was made on such a small budget, but they made something fantastic. And for that, I'm going to give Halloween a 95. My handwriting was not very good on this. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Potted Player Entertainment for more. Hit the like button. Leave me reviews, suggestions down in the comments down below. Follow me on Instagram at Potted Player Entertainment for channel updates and written movie reviews. No, not written movie reviews. Sorry, I'm still trying to break that habit. Much love.